You can go grocery shopping in a minivan, that's totally fine, but it sure as hell would be a lot more fun if you required less and you went in a Lamborghini. When it comes to practicality, one would think, well, I am practical. I don't do anything that doesn't make sense. We often think of ourselves as logical, but mostly we are in denial when it comes to this fact. We buy multiples of the same shirt, even though we don't need an additional shirt. We hold on to things just in case we might need it. We may even lie to the people closest to us to spare their feelings. We eat junk food. We say we deserve it. But none of these things are practical or logical, but they make complete sense. When it comes to the Bell & Ross limited edition Phantom watch, you could say the same thing about it. There's so many things in the world that are just so cool, thinking logically just doesn't make sense. With its black dial, black indices, black hand, black strap, black chrono, black date window, this fully blacked out watch is an absolute villain to legibility or logic. However, just like the bad guy in any story, they are a lot cooler than the hero, often more interesting than the hero, sometimes quite relatable, often more charismatic or memorable than the hero. Just like any bad guy, their charms come with a cost, the cost of their dark souls. They're often masked in a darkness of their own making them difficult to get to know well. To be honest, the first time putting on this Phantom watch, it was like the first time meeting the bad guy of the story. I was in awe, overwhelmed, and confused. It's brutal and unforgiving. I had to put it away, only to come back to it later. It's a good thing I did too. Like a wounded dog, I had to ease into this watch. If one isn't careful, this thing could bite you, striking a nerve to make you dislike it forever. But if you are understanding, you can tame this beast. Its square shape is absolutely gorgeous. It's a mystery how this 42mm wears so strong, but yet so fitting on my 6.5-inch wrist. The fact this rubber strap is rather wide, nearing the width of the case, it shares the same bold, tough energy. This matte finish of the rubber strap is so suiting, just like a harmony in your favorite sad song. The Bell & Ross has a tactical look, but could fit into an upper-class nightclub. The phrase matte black everything is often trending and popular, and it's for a reason. It's all the best parts of black. It takes in the nuances of black into further consideration like only matte black fans would pontificate about. If you only had the color black, you would quickly realize there are many versions of it. There's lacquered, deep, matte, shiny, textured, lightened, distressed and displaced, and so on. It's these choices that were considered in the design of this Phantom. The circle display is a well-balanced proportion to the case, void of any optics that cause visual fatigue that other watches sharing two drastically different shapes may have. With the raised and lightened black numerals, they are just bright enough to be lighter than the lightly textured face itself. Depending on the lighting, there is a dark gray or light black indices and markings for the chrono as well as the date. These are the most underrated beauty of this design. If they were any darker or lighter, the balance would break. The chrono pushers are bold and smooth, just like the rest of the watch. Anything smaller would feel out of place. Then we come to the minute and hour hands. The giant two-tone hands have a smooth and black finish to their base, but is coated with a textured and mildly lightened black, which is actually a lume. Unfortunately, it does not last very long. When it comes to legibility, you'll have no problem in the daylight. But when the sun goes down, so may your mood. When you notice, so does the legibility. This may unleash your own villainous streak across the city, as you will need some light source to read at night. But for the time in between light and dark is one I've never quite experienced before, where the hands are just bright enough so that the shadow is darker than the black, and you realize this whole watch actually doesn't quite contain any true black. It's all about 7% lighter, and you will realize that you can read the time with the shadows and not the actual arms. Thankfully, the low glare crystal is an anti-reflective aiding to this watch. So just like taming a beast, after enough time you get to start to know it. When it's good and when it acts up, you get used to it. You get to know it like an untrusting abandoned dog you have loved and tamed. To expect anyone else thinking they could just walk up and pet it is laughable. Only you can tame this beast. Overall, this is a romantic piece where we take all of the darkest qualities into one place, creating harmonies and transitioning them into something that shines much brighter than the thing itself. Even if sometimes it makes as much sense as taking a Lambo and its 2-foot square trunk to the grocery store. This is the Bell & Ross Phantom, a representation of all your darkest parts in their best light. If you like this video, you might like the other videos shown here on screen. And if you're interested in t-shirts, hoodies, and other goodies we have, the new store is linked in the description. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like, and it really helps us out stand against the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for watching.